but it looks like he is ready now.
Break is
to
over.
Face Kirania, who is sitting on a 38% win rate, with a precision of 48% and a pretty quick guess time of only 29 seconds.
Yeah, and on the other hand, we have an overperformer, 66% on Strefan's side, 58% precision on Strefan's side. And I think that has to be mentioned, Kirania won last year's APAC and now is kind of underperforming in general, I feel like. I was expecting him to do better, but as for now, he's, doing a bit worse than you would expect him, because I feel like in APAC I was really surprised at how well he plays.
Yeah, I mean, Kirania is also someone, I don't think it was last week, the week before, he had some internet issues. That will definitely go towards these stats, because every match counts, especially in a highly competitive league like this. Even if you have one bad day where you blunder 2 games, it can set you back so much, and with him having that on that one day, it does set him back. But yeah, I hope he will still lock in, focus, and look to the future.
Yeah, because he just got passed by Lero as well. Because as of now, if you just took the standings right now, Kirania would not be in the APAC regionals, which just feels wrong to say, because I feel like he has been there every single time. So yeah, he definitely needs to step up his game really in the next few weeks. I feel like against Malfunction, kind of had to win to really make a big run, and now it's a very tough matchup for him against Strefan, as we just saw him play.
I do agree, but I mean, they both were in a similar situation, because Malfunction also, I think it's also an important phase for her to get some wins through in the next couple of weeks. And that Strefan is right on the road.
I'm not sure how he got it, but he is on the road, and that is all that matters, really.
Yep, we had a sign, and signs in the Philippines are super helpful. Usually, you always have a province name written on them.
That is true. Province, and then the town name, and then usually a smaller town name. So you can really narrow it down.
Should be in Scotland, I feel like, with this architecture and landscape.
Yeah, we also have bilingual signs, or Scottish signs at least.
Yeah, definitely gives me the vibe of the earlier round we had between Glasgow and what's the coastal city again?
Oban.
Oban, right. I kind of have the same vibe again on this round.
Yeah, so we do have a road number again.
Be in the same region.
Would be funny if we get the same town twice. But Strefan was in that game, so technically...
Yeah, he's a bit further north though. This time, whereas Kirania is pretty far south in the UK. He's in Wales.
A8 is definitely in Scotland. That is not that far south. It's gonna be
Maybe it was the bilingual language which threw Kirania off here to think it's more south. I don't know, but that's very far north actually.
Yeah, and Kirania is lucky that he doesn't lose 2.5k on this if Strefan gets on the spot, because he did have signs for the road. Then that could be even worse, but yeah, road numbering in the UK is definitely learnable. Usually just starts with a 1 in the south and goes all the way up.
Yep. Let's see, as we go on to this round.
Looks like a Greece flag.
Information here.
But it's Uruguay, so
it is Uruguay. Enough. We have those long license plates in Gen 3.
Uruguay, also one of those countries that is set to get Gen 4 coverage. Everyone is kind of waiting for it. Same with Paraguay. Yeah, it says Rio Negro. Funnily enough.
Yes, but Uruguay also a country where you don't get that much info in towns. Whereas I must say the main roads have pretty good signage.
Some of them do.
Uruguay.
Some of them. It has to. Okay, and Strefan in the right town. He definitely found something.
Young.
Don't know.
The 3 and the 25 intersecting, I think.
I don't know which town that is, but it seems like he found something on the sign.
Yes, it was young. Always good to have my map on the side. To not... Or to double check what I'm waffling here. We are in Bhutan. A very distinct landscape. You also have that Google car. The silver, grey-ish Google car.
Yep, not much to say here. Just
Both
pretty
combined,
straightforward.
yep. Also a country where we are hoping to get new coverage. You would definitely like to see Bhutan in that clear, crisp Gen 4 camera quality.
Yeah, same as Nepal, but it seems like Nepal will only get the bad camera quality as India. So, yeah, not that nice. As we go into New Zealand, I think this is Westport.
You again.
I think this is Westport.
That's
Can I get the street signs? I didn't see the street sign, unfortunately.
You have to remind me where Westport is.
Northwestern part of the South Island.
Oh.
Okay, I mean, I don't see a single sign here on their screens, but it seems like Westport just by the angle of the mountains, and to me this is a very distinct town. And the funniest thing is, I think Zigzag just sent me a game summary this morning where he 5K'd Westport, so...
Oh, speaking of Zigzag, we had a raid from him earlier. Shout out to Zigzag.
Oh, I didn't see that. But
thanks for that.
But shout out to Zigzag for learning New Zealand, very base, I have to say. And we do have the green street signs, Westport Meta, so very good.
Oh, Strefan made a good switch towards Westport. But not really on it, however Kirania is on it. Striking back, bringing Strefan down to 4.5k. Health.
Yeah, he was in Wellington before that, so could have been even worse for him. But, you know, Strefan not the guy to make big mistakes, as we know. He always does it somehow. As we move into another Canada.
It does look like it. We also have the flag right there.
Ooh, Ontario 11.
In Ontario. Isn't the 11 the long road? It is the northern road, right?
I don't know.
Strefan is on it.
We have the 11 and the 586.
Very long road. I mean, even if you're on the right road, you could still lose a lot of points. And I feel like Kirania will use these signs to get closer. As we can see, they're so far from each other, even though they are both on the 11. And there's still room to be even further away from each other, so let's see who will get the right region of the 11.
Kirania scanning the road now.
He pretty much switched like 600 kilometers. And it's still on the 11.
Switches even further. And he found it this time.
Yeah, it's still continuing even after Thunder Bay. It goes
That's
to the
enough though.
province.
So Kirania taking this game actually. And Strefan, you know, he found the road number as well. Hey. But Kirania had the town names. He started off so far away from where he ended up being. Over 800 kilometers easily.
Definitely. I mean, as I said, the 11 isn't really helpful information there, but Kirania had the better signs and made a good usage of that, switching last second west of Thunder Bay, getting that sweet victory through.
And I don't want to call anything, but what are we looking at here?
That is a good question.
There's a mosque.
Romania does fit, Eastern Romania, with the green rolling landscape.
Oh, that's just an Orthodox church. It's not a mosque.
Never
mind.
Yeah.
Not sure why I saw a mosque
so
there. Yeah, why not? Seemed Eastern though, I can't blame.
Yeah, I also had
Kirania.
an Eastern vibe for sure.
Usually barren landscape. More of a clue for the East.
That is true. What do we have here then? Couple rocks.
A couple rocks.
Bit of water.
We have a metal pole.
I would like to look at the poles for a bit longer.
Oh, Geezer. What do you think of Gökçeada?
Could see that.
We did have it yesterday, but...
We did. Do we have the shrubs here? I didn't see them yet.
It says something on the pavement, but I'm not sure if it's helpful.
Saying...
This is like...
Please don't leave your trash here, it's saying.
Oh.
Alright. Interesting to write that on the pavement, rather than putting up a sign. But,
yeah, I guess.
Being efficient. Yeah, this is very hard to reach. Yes, of course, you have the water. I did not think of an island. so I like the coastal guess more up there. Yeah.
And whoa, it's basic
right
Bulgaria.
outside Bulgaria, yeah. It did expand a lot with the coverage towards Bulgaria up there. Also along the border. So yeah, having a big body of water isn't too helpful. In Turkey you have it all along the north, you have a lot of islands, you have a lot of big lakes.
True.
So you kind of have to commit as you go over to this round, which should be Spain.
Should be southeast,
We
I
have
feel like.
those ladder poles, we have some greenhouses.
Greenhouses, good meta for southeast in general, along the coast. You see it a lot between Murcia and, what's the town with A?
Alicante?
Maybe? Not sure which town I'm thinking of. Did I
Almeria?
think about Malaga? No, I don't know. One of the towns on the coast there, I forgot.
Yeah.
Not
Important enough to know it is the coast.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Who knows city names then anyway?
I could see this being... I mean, we are in the United States, I feel like.
Yeah, we do have a slight hill to the south.
Which is throwing me off. Because I feel like the hill doesn't belong here.
My immediate thought was North Carolina.
Would you get a rich like... are we looking at the Appalachians then from the Carolina?
I don't know, the road quality makes me think east. But I can't tell if it's... Yeah, it could be even New York. Like, I see the eastern shout, but I don't know where in the east. I could see New York, Pennsylvania,
Yes.
North Carolina, Virginia, but I don't know where in the east. We do have a red barn, though, so that puts us more north. Maybe.
Let's see, they both end up in New York, however it is. Pennsylvania.
No
makes
post-it
sense.
note, sadly.
Quite the hilly, we didn't have any post-it note on a tree, which makes getting Pennsylvania pretty hard.
That's the only way to get Pennsylvania, really. So
True. And we are in some very lush green Nigeria again. We have the follow car, which I've mentioned earlier, the police car following us.
this time I think it's east, though, because we do have the big back eastern thing with this coverage.
Yep, I do agree this time. It definitely gives you more of a vibe towards the east, however, I still feel like it's pretty difficult to region guess Nigeria sometimes.
Can be
And
pretty
it's
tough.
way further north, yeah. I am not guessing up there. But Strefan is covering that area, picking up good points here, actually. Considering the fact that they both end up in the east.
Yeah, I feel like we did have some northern trees, but it's very hard to make a shout here. As we have the Germany flag, but it is the Sarawak one.
The Sarawak German flag.
The question is, does everyone know this flag? It seems like Kirania knows.
I mean, I assume, because you see the Sarawak flag a lot, I feel like it's the flag you would see the most in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Am I right?
No,
Yeah.
that's right, I think. It's also one of the biggest states, so it's
Yeah,
kind of
that's
cheating.
also true. Definitely not the only state where you see the... or province.
But the other flags
see
I'm
the
not very
flags.
confident in, but
Yeah,
if I see a Germany
same.
flag, I already know I'm in Sarawak, so that's pretty easy.
Indeed. Now, as you said, Sarawak is pretty big. We have a couple somewhat bigger cities. With a big building like that, you consider a bigger city, like Cebu, Kuching, or Miri, Bintulu. But it is Kuching. Yeah,
Down on
makes
Butch,
sense with
Kuching.
the building size.
Both of the players will be like, okay, I should have just clicked the biggest city, but
Well,
Sarawak
it's
is
so
such a
far
big state.
south. Yeah,
Such a
it's
big
always hard to
state.
commit.
It could have been Miri at the end of the day, and then you just lose so many points. So, playing it safe.
It is valid, and I think we are in the UAE here. Unless we are in Flat Oman, which is always possible.
Yeah, Flat Oman, it can be just a coastal area and we don't see the mountains south. And I kind of got that vibe as well.
Yep. I also don't know if you would ever get this car in UAE, because UAE is usually normal car or pickup, right? Would you ever have this?
No, I don't think so,
I
but
don't remember.
I don't like Strefan's south guess here just because of how built up it is. Usually the south is a bit more
It's very empty.
empty,
down
and we also
there.
have a divided road. that's also more of a northern thing. There's only a single divided road in the south, and that's the main road.
Yep. So we could be having just bad vision towards the mountains here. Maybe a bit cloudy. We'll see. We are as north as it can get.
You would have been closer to UAE.
Because there's more Oman even north of that, but yeah. On the mainland, that is as far north as it can be.
Imagine somebody sending UAE on that and getting closer. That would have been a cinema.
Hey, that would have been me then.
Well, as we go into easy BC.
Geographically closer. We
British
are in
Columbia.
British Columbia. In Canada, it is looking pretty mountainous. A lot of these western pines. We do have, and if it's this dry, you are usually further south in British Columbia rather than north.
That is where Kirania is guessing, picking up 1.2k for this, and
wow.
He's on the verge of 2-0ing Strefan, kind of the opposite of how we expected this game to go after Strefan's game he just played.
Yeah, definitely. Kirania really striking back here. We are in
Poland. We are in Poland.
His home country. But we all know how hard region guessing Poland is. However, Strefan is going very far northeast, which is a very committed guess. He knows he has to try something. He knows he has to turn this game around somehow. And making a risky region guess like that could be one way. But Kirania is also in the northeast, and he's on it.
That could have been such a big, switch for Strefan. Like, he could have won the game on the spot there if Kirania just clicks middle. But Kirania getting the northeastern vibe as well. Staying alive. That was an impressive guess by Strefan. In a country that is apparently not region guessable. As we go into urban Russia with the urban car that is everywhere. And as you said, urban Russia can be quite tough.
Yep, I also mentioned the urban Russia rounds earlier today, which can be very hard to guess. Usually what you're looking for are cars. And in this case, we have a lot of Asian brands, so that puts you more towards the east. And I do like the Khabarovsk.
I like it. I like it.
Or Havar, at least. It could also be Blagoveshchensk. Did I butcher the name, or is it right?
Hey, I trust you on that one. But the problem is there's so many big cities that have the same car like this. It's just in downtown every single big city in the east, so it's gonna be tough. And we have an Abakan. Could be.
Yeah, that still counts as eastern side of Russia.
Definitely gonna see the game here, regardless. One of the players will drop to 0 health here.
I like the far east guess though here. Oh! Would you look at that?
Damn!
Strefan in the right.
What a comeback
there.
Region guessing Poland and Russia.
Abakan getting the right city. Wow.
Damn.
Staying in the game, going over to the NMPZ mode on this matchup, Kirania versus Strefan. It is getting intense now.
It's getting intense.
Let's see where we start.
In Chile again.
Yeah, looks like it.
Just downtown Santiago again.
We are in a valley, but of course in Chile you have, I don't know how many valleys.
Ooh, Strefan very far south here. Oh, I don't know if this is this far south, but prove me wrong. Nope.
Did not prove you wrong. It is just outside Santiago towards Vina del Mar.
Honestly, Kirania was playing very well until those 2 last rounds in the no-move game. Almost deserved to win that no-move game as well, but Strefan just being so consistent. And what do we have here? I'm not sure on the continent here. My immediate thought was Ontario.
I do like that Ontario, like somewhere in the region between Ontario and Quebec.
Yeah, that border region. But we have
is something I could see. The Nordics are always possible, but that
we don't have a front of the car color, so NA is less possible, less likely.
I agree.
But it's a weird blur in the front you can see as well, so that might just be because of that. This would be a wild Norway.
I don't think that blur would cover the whole blur you would get in NA.
Both of them in Norway, so
the Nordics do make more sense in hindsight.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Not sure which country it is. It looks more like Norway, but both of them getting it. Yeah. That's why car meta is very important.
It is.
And just differentiate between the two continents as we get this round.
Oh, is it West Coast? I mean, we are New Zealand. We have the New Zealand border.
This is the road to what's the town in the very far south of the West Coast.
Very south.
It is the road to Jackson Bay.
Jackson Bay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should be very far
I could see that, especially because I don't think the street
that's Pano ID then, or maybe it's a road that hasn't. Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like there are a couple of roads, especially the off-roads are so hard to get a lot of times.
But I think they updated a lot of West Coast to Gen 4, but they missed the very far southern road. But as we move into urban Europe.
Yes, we have a bike path. Or is it even bike path? Looks like it.
Well, you know where they like to bike.
I have to lean into my monitor for this one. To get a look on the buildings, I cannot tell. I don't like the Germany guess too much.
It is France.
Yeah.
The road lines did not lie, and that's going to be a big chunk of damage.
Yeah. 3.7k. Very good lead here. And we move over to this one. We have a short plate. And we are...
Whoa. Is there even a city there? But I guess we have the antenna.
We have the car for...
I've never seen a city this big.
I mean, the best Straft Islands both have this car, and Tasmania as well, I think.
Okay, I was about to say, is there even a city that big, that island?
But is that the win?
That's the win, still. But as you said, Tasmania and that island have that car with the antenna. Strefan
I don't know
picked it up there.
Flinders Island has a city of this size. I mean, I would trust Kirania.
Yeah, in multi-story buildings,